Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Impact7 and today I'm going to play in F1 2019 at the United States Grand Prix. This is my career with HASS. This is Season 2, Race 19. I'd like to thank everyone who's watching right now, really do appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment and subscribe. Really appreciate my road to 700 subscribers. If you want to keep up to date with my latest information, please follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Discord. Links will, as usual, are in the description box down below. Now then, just 3 races to go in this season, including this upcoming United States Grand Prix. Currently, I'm 51 points clear at the top of the table, with Lewis Hamilton in second. Now, all I need to do is finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton in this race, and I'll be Drivers' World Champion. So, Valtteri Bottas is in third. He's 21 points behind his teammate. Then it's Max Verstappen, Devon Butler, Sergio Perez, Lucas Weber, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon and Sebastian Vettel riding out the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, we've really been able to close the gap on Mercedes in first place. It's only a 14-point gap between Haas and Mercedes now. So once again, if I'm able to finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton in this upcoming race, then I'm assuming we'll be able to close the gap even further to Mercedes, which will keep the Constructors' Championship alive going into the Brazilian Grand Prix, which is the next one after this one, and then obviously the final race of the season, which is Abu Dhabi. Now, Red Bull are in third place, then it's Toro Rosso, Williams, Renault, Ferrari in 7th, doing poorly. 8th is McLaren, 9th is Racing Point, and 10th is Alfa Romeo. Now then, let's change these components. 39%, that should be fine. 35, 40, yeah, that should be fine as well. 35, change that as well, and change that. Gearbox, 44%. Oh no, it's changing for the next race, isn't it, I think? So, oh yeah, that should be fine. Expected qualifying position is 4th, expected race position is 4th as well. Team order, first driver, team goal, medium difficulty, 500 extra resource points, complete 2 clean races, got 3 race weekends to do so. I think I've got like 2,000 resource points now, but I'm not going to use any of them for the remainder of the season. Rivals got Sergio Perez, which I'm winning against him, and Devon Butler, which I'm winning against him as well. Weather forecast is dry in both qualifying and the race, which is good, always good for me. Once again, like I did in the previous race, I've changed my tire allocation to soft, so I've got more soft tires than I have anything else. Here we go to qualifying.
It's time for today's qualifying session to begin here in the United States. Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
As usual, the car setup that I'll be using for this live stream will be in the description box down below. If any of you want to use it, feel free. Alright, let's get out there nice and early.
When you're ready, let's go.
Couple cars already out on track, including what appears to be a Mercedes, a Red Bull, McLaren, Toro Rosso, and a McLaren just in front of me. So for those of you who've watched any of my previous F1 live streams, you notice I'm starting to use this camera view a bit more often. Don't know why, I just find this a bit more suitable. Ferrari's behind me. One thing I didn't do is lower the amount of fuel I have on board. That's something I should have done. Got Ferrari coming up behind me, gonna let him past. No point in getting in his way. Got Renault right behind me as well. Okay, here we go. On the final corner. And we're on the way. Didn't hit the apex like I would have liked to there. .24.5 for the first sector. Car feels nice. It's planted. Back and front and sticking with me nicely so far. Much better that time round, hitting the apex. Three tenths up on Hamilton's second sector time. Car's going pretty well. Remember, in order to be Drivers' Champion, all I need to do is finish ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Around the final corner. DRS. Lost quite a bit of time. Disappointed without that time. I should have been fastest. Did lose a bit of time on him, on Hamilton, in the final sector, I think. Less than a tenth down, so I know I can improve.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 31.6.
Well, 31.6, okay. It should be enough to just speed through. Fastest in the first sector, fastest in the second sector, and then third sector I lost quite a bit of time. I lost 7 tenths in the final sector. Wow. And Hamilton improved as well. Albon beat me as well. Okay. Alright. Final sector definitely needs some improvement then. Teammate finished in 7th. Okay. Alright, that's the first part of qualifying over. The 5 cars limit in qualifying 1 are Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen. Here we go for qualifying 2. For those of you who don't know the rule, the tires you do your fastest lap in qualifying 2, the tires you start the race with, if you get into qualifying 3. On the other hand, if you don't get into qualifying 3, you get to pick whatever tire you want to start the race with. I'm not going to go out early like I did last time. Going to allow others to set a lap time first. Hopefully the track's better than when I go out. Only 3 cars out on track now, that's good. I'm going to reduce the amount of fuel I have on board. Now, there should be no excuses for me now.
Checks complete. All personnel be aware, we have a car leaving.
I should be challenging for the fastest in this session. If I don't, I'll be very disappointed. Another brand new set of soft tyres. I've got plenty of them. Reduce the ERS to none just to make sure I've got enough when I start my lap. It's been a very, I'd say, up and down season. The first half of my season, basically up until the British Grand Prix, which I think is like the 10th race of the season, I think, which is pretty much halfway through the season. My season up until that point was up and down, really. Going all over the place in terms of finishes, in terms of performances. After the British Grand Prix, started to get more consistent. Got a couple of victories in a row. Couple of podium finishes as well, which has put me in the position I am now, where it's possible I could be Drivers' Champion. So I really do think I need to clear up the first half of the season when it comes to performances and results. Hopefully I can do so in the next season, sorry, with Ferrari. But with the way Ferrari are right now, they need an improvement, massive improvement. No one's out on track. Okay, about to begin. I was 7 tenths slower than Hamilton in the final sector in qualifying 1. It's pretty much that in qualifying, not in qualifying, sorry, in sector 1. I was better than Hamilton about 7 tenths, so let's see how I do this time round. Barely lifted off. 6 tenths up, that's more like it. Maybe my line through there was a bit too narrow there. Got through it nicely though. Clipped the curb on the inside, barely even a corner there. Got the hairpin. Took the corner very nicely, hit the apex, straightened up the car nicely. DRS. No issues there. Almost a second up on Verstappen. Oh, carried too much speed. Oh my days. Didn't hit the apex like I wanted to. Is this going to be a Hamilton in Singapore moment in real life? I just blow everyone away. Let's see. Go around the final corner. Oh, ran a bit wide. It's going to cost me a bit of time. 1 minute 30.5.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
I probably could have gone even quicker than that. Instead of being in the mid 1 minute 30s, I probably should be in the low 1 minute 30s. So it's definitely time to improve there. Mr. Apex, I think once, and then I ran wide going into the final corner. Going out of the final corner, sorry, so improvements can be made. But once again, this should be enough to get me through to the next part of qualifying. Also, I need to be careful with these tyres. These will be tyres I'll start the race with.
Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. You're leading the pack, P1, and we're in front of Verstappen, Perez and Hamilton. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:30.5.
Nice to see my teammate in third place. And if I remember correctly, in the last race in Mexico, my teammate finished in second place. So he had a very good homecoming, Sergio Perez. Run out of fuel in low fuel mode, which is fine. Should have enough fuel to get me into the pit box. Hulkenberg looks like he's doing his lap. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the session. 7 tenths up. Half a second, but my teammate is in second place. That's encouraging. Very encouraging there. Okay, so next 5 cars eliminating qualifying 2. Sebastian Vettel in the Ferrari. Oh my days, Ferrari, man. Terrible. None of them in the top 10. Then it's Carlos Sainz. Then it's Charles Leclerc, recently moved from Ferrari to Renault. George Russell, and finally the other Ferrari in Kevin Magnussen, who's been terrible since he moved to Ferrari. I think he's barely, if ever, gotten into qualifying 3 this season. Granted, the Ferrari's not very good, but still. Okay, qualifying 3. Pole position shootout. I'm in a very good position here. Still got 2 sets of soft tyres. Fresh and ready to go. This I'm going to do a flying lap rather than drive out. Here we go. Arkiton, how you doing? Thank you very much for watching. How are you? First corner, nailed it. .24.6 the first sector. Oh, Beckons slided there. 1 minute 32, didn't quite catch the last bit. Obviously that's not good enough from Devon Butler. He should do better than that. Nine tenths up in the second sector, though Devon Butler's time isn't very good anyway, so not gonna be too happy with that one. Teammate just gone fastest, 1 minute 31.4. Much better final corner this time. 1 minute 30.0, 1 minute 31.0. Once again, I can definitely do an improvement there. That's a good initial lap. Oh, Lewis is very close to my time. Look at that. Very close. Less than half a tenth. A quarter of a tenth, really. But once again,
so far our fastest lap is a 1 minute 31.0.
Once again though, he's quicker than me in the final sector. So that always seems to be my Achilles heel, it seems, is the final sector.
Standing by.
Hold on, I did make sure I put on a brand new set of tyres, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Tyres are shiny, so I'm guessing it's brand new. Sorry about that. Got Mercedes right behind me, and it's Hamilton. Interesting. Very interesting. The two challengers for the Driver Championship are right next to each other on the track. A bit of traffic here.
One minute remaining, just 1 minute.
1 minute to go, okay. Gonna let Bottas through. Ran a tiny bit wide there. Line was all wrong. I lost a heap of time just then. I just did the fastest first sector. Okay. I was planning on giving up, to be honest. Then I saw somehow I did the fastest first sector. Looks like it might not have been a good idea to let Bottas ahead of me. Final corner, 2/10 up still. Hamilton has gone quickest. Can I get back pole position? I think I can.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
And I did. I might have got a bit slipstream from Bottas as well.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top
Verstappen
three today. Campbell,
was able to beat
Verstappen
Lewis.
and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid line up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
It's a good thing I went out again, otherwise I would have been maybe even 4th place. Look at the gap between 4th and 5th. 0.3 of a second. Quite a big gap there. Happy for a good result here. In pole position. Exactly where you want to be. Want to make sure I get through the first corner without incident, and then the first lap. And then go from there.
Alright, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
I agree. Here we go.
In 2012, America's on-again, off-again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. Since then, we've been treated to some incredible races, including, of course, that classic wet-dry championship decider of 2015. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, around the 20 corners of the wonderful Circuit of the Americas. We'll be reaching speeds of around 200 miles an hour, and there are plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into Turn 1 and the very long back straight into Turn 12. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's start by getting your take on Daniel Ricciardo. As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Campbell lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Pierre Gasly, and Faber, Albon, Bottas, Butler, and Sebastian Vettel, Sainz, Leclerc, George Russell, and Magnussen. Stroll, Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen. Hülkenberg, they've taken a grid penalty. And Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Here we go. I think it's a 29 or 28 lap race.
This is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today.
Now, it's in a one-stop strategy. I'm not interested in a one-stop. I've got to go for a two-stop. That's my kind of strategy right there. Gonna have to push that crazy though. 4 seconds I'm gonna have to make up between these two. Well, actually 3.2 seconds actually is to make up. Okay, so 28 laps. Gonna have 29 laps of fuel on board. Let's go. A bit late with eating the clutch there.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Except Verstappen had a similar issue to me because Hamilton's in front of him in the queue. Way too far ahead.
No rain expected. No rain expected for the time being.
Good. Like music to my ears. That's what I like to hear. Having the rain is so annoying. Make sure my tires are good. Brakes not so much, need to use them a bit more. Here we go. Slow everyone down, make sure I don't stay on the grid for too long. Thank you to whoever liked the stream, I appreciate that, thank you. Here we go. After 28 laps of this race, I could be Drivers' World Champion. My closest rival is in 3rd place. Lewis Hamilton needs to finish ahead of me in order for it to move on, the Drivers' Championship to move on to
the rest
Brazil.
Of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
If Lewis Hamilton retires, then no matter what happens, I will be Drivers' World Champion. Here we go. 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps, 5 laps, here we are. Racing! Not a bad getaway. Verstappen's closing in on me. I've got someone on my outside. Oh, Hamilton got a good start. That was actually a very good start. I got pincered and I didn't want to be in any trouble. Oh my days, Hamilton, man. I had to lift off there. Lost 2 positions. Very disappointed about my start. Although, I'm kind of happy I don't have any damage. And I've got the speed in my car to challenge the 2 in front of me. Alright, let's put that back in rich. Let's bring that down instead. Can I pass Hamilton here? Put in overtake. Nice gap to Gasly. No, I'm not going to pass Hamilton here. Let's save a bit of ERS.
Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Roger that. Verstappen's starting to pull away from Hamilton a bit. I was kind of hoping I'd get a good start and then just pull away while I was still in 1st place, but doesn't look like the case. Hamilton's not gonna allow me to win the World Championship without a fight. Oh, gonna run too wide. 1 minute 35.0, 1 minute 36.6, so 1.6 seconds slower than Verstappen there on that lap. Turn up the DRS here. Definitely want to stay within a second of Hamilton. I definitely want to get DRS. I think I'm gaining on Hamilton a bit here, but obviously I'm not going to be able to pass. Way too far back. What I don't want to do is be stuck behind Hamilton and Verstappen just disappears off into the distance. That's the last thing I need. I want to win this race. I want to win the Driver Championship the proper way. Back end slightly stepped out on me there. Too much curb on the inside. And I think right now the two guys in front of me have got their engines turned up to maximum. And as you can see on the bottom right, I'm in standard and medium. Trying to save a bit of ARS.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Okay. Still slower than Verstappen's fastest lap. I think that was Verstappen. He set the fastest lap. Too wide there. I think through here I'm got the advantage over Hamilton. Go try and gain on him. Oh, line through there wasn't very good. Need to remember that I've got a fuel tank of fuel on board right now, so the car can't do what it was doing in qualifying. Closes up nicely to the back of Hamilton here. Gotta get DRS, put the car into overtake for the ERS. DRS activated as well, closing in very nicely here. Slipstream as well, added bonus. Go over to the inside, give him a wide overtake just to make sure there's no incidents. Second place is mine.
Nice work, that brings you up a place.
Now I need to pull away from Hamilton, otherwise he's going to get DRS on me. And if me and him start fighting, you'll allow Verstappen to pull away. Is that Gasly? I think that's Gasly right behind Hamilton. Don't know how he closed up so quickly. Actually, no. Is that Gasly? No, it's my teammate. Where did Perez come from? He came out of absolutely nowhere.
To mix 2, fuel to mix 2.
He literally came out of absolutely nowhere. I didn't realize it was him. I thought it was Gasly. And Gasly's been passed by quite a few cars actually. Don't know how that happened. He got passed by like 4 cars on one lap. I tell you what, that Red Bull looks amazing going through here. Fastest in the first sector, that's what I like to see. Should be within DRS zone here. I've pulled away from Hamilton a bit. I want that first place for Verstappen. I want it. Oh, back end. No. Oh my days, back end. Oh, it's skidding. DRS. I think I might be a bit too far back here. I'll definitely close in on him. Oh, actually, this might have to be a late lunge. Verstappen goes defensive. I'm not going to try and force it. Oh, lock up. Oh, my days. Major lock up from Verstappen. Oh, if there was more space, I would have tried to dive it up the inside there, but Verstappen locked up quite badly. Looks like he's struggling under pressure. With that lock-up, it's allowed Hamilton to catch up a bit more. Once again, standard and medium, just to save a bit of fuel and ERS. Around the final corner. Didn't go wide this time. DRS once again. Trying to be quite strategic.
Okay, we're not seeing any issues with tyre wear right now. You should have good grip for a while yet.
Trying to be very strategic in how I use my engine right now. I'm guessing Verstappen and Hamilton are going to do one stop, so can't really afford to be wasting too much time behind these guys. Hamilton's right behind me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, go, 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 go. Here we go, look at the speed. Okay, I'll go down the inside. Go down the outside, sorry. Take the racing line. There we go. Oh, my teammate's passing Hamilton. There you go, teammate, let's go. That'll definitely help me out. Oh, Hamilton's still fighting him though. Back in first place. And Hamilton keeps third. Okay, I need to start pulling away now. I must admit though, these tyres don't feel very good.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
Roger that. Driver behind.
There's static over the radio. Say again.
Driver behind.
Verstappen behind. Less than a second separate you. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop.
Oh, safety car.
The time last lap was a 1:37.0. Safety car, safety car. No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive
Bottas.
as we
Oh
form
my
up.
days.
Check your MFD for
Yep.
a new strategy
Switch.
option. Understood. Copy that.
Yeah,
Drop
do
your
that now.
speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Do that absolutely right now. Actually, you know what? Let's go mediums for this leg. Go for the mediums now, and then when the car's lost most of the fuel, then go straight onto the soft tyres for the final stint of the race and just go like a madman. I'll probably be at the back of the field, but
Box, box, box.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of other cars decide to pit as well. Though if they pit, they're not going to be able to get to the end of the race on whatever tyre they put on. How many laps? This is lap 6, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe. If someone puts on the hard tyres, maybe. What should I continue to do the 2-stop? Yeah, why not? I'm going to continue to go for the 2-stop.
Sergio is in for his
Perez
stop.
is in the pit, so he's going to do a 2-stop as well, is he?
Go. Exit now.
2.2.
We're racing on the
Teammate
exit. Go.
didn't have to
Go
wait
now.
for too long. Is my teammate going to go on the soft tyres?
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
10th place, not bad. That safety car definitely helped me out there. That's my one extra pit stop than everyone else possibly done and dusted. Let's save some fuel in ERS now. It should be a brand new set of mediums, which they are. Nice. So everyone else is on used tyres, while I'm on a brand new set of tyres now. When am I supposed to pit? Lap 18 to lap 23. So I'm supposed to go 12 laps on these tyres. 12 laps plus. 12 to 15 laps. Not bad. Things are looking good so far. Things are looking very good. Now, if someone's put on the hard tyres, it's highly likely they could win this race. If someone put on the hard tyres. If my teammate put on his hard tyres, teammate.
Gap to teammate behind is 9.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 14th.
Okay, fresh softs. So he's gonna go for a two-stop strategy like me. Okay, so there's quite a bit of strategies going on here, because I thought some guys would be on a one-stop, most of the guys would be on a one-stop, but my teammates following me and doing the two-stop, though I decided to go on the mediums during the middle stint and go for the soft tires on the last stint, whereas my teammates going on the soft stint for the middle stint and then mediums for the final stint. Although my softs that I'll be putting on later on will not be a fresh set of softs. Oh, we're going around again, okay. Interesting. I'm going to try and be very aggressive going in. After the safety car goes in, I'm going to try and be very aggressive. If I can get, let's say 6th place. If I can get 6th place before Hamilton pits, I'll be in a very good position. But if I'm held up, then I'm definitely going to have to pass Hamilton again for the lead. And Verstappen, can't forget about him. But Hamilton's the main target. If I was Verstappen or Hamilton, I would have pitted and just put on the hard tyres and just go to the end of the race. Even now, I'd still just pit and put on the hard tyres, because all he should be focused about is trying to beat me. And one less stop might actually do the trick. Come on, safety car, go in the pits already. What on earth are you out for 2 laps for? Safety car in this lap, that's more like it.
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Roger that. Verstappen has now become the de facto safety car. We'll be ready to go the moment the safety car dives into the pits. Five-second penalty for what? Oh my days! No. 5-second penalty for. I did touch him, no doubt, but a 5-second penalty for that? Wow. Well, did I really just do that? Did I really just do that? Did it give me a penalty? No, it didn't. Okay, this time around it didn't give me a penalty. Okay, fine. I'll carry on. Just use one of my flashbacks. Always restrict myself to just 2 for a race when it's 50%.
If you think you can get past, increase ERS deployment to overtake mode.
Roger that. If I go around the outside of the racing point. Oh, look at that overtake. Tried to be a bit cautious there, but Stroll wasn't having it. Now I've got Magnussen, probably the driver I'm going to be taking his seat for next season. Good acceleration from the Ferrari, and how was the racing point right behind me? What? No racing point, chill. He dives on the inside. I'm gonna have the line going into the next corner though. Sorry Stroll, but you're not getting this position off me. Some cars diving into the pits. None of the top 2 dived into the pits though. Come on, get Magnussen. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow. Even with overtake, I'm not quick enough. Go try and outbrake him though. Got him. Had to really force my way through there. Oh, almost lost the back end going through there. Top 2 is starting to pull away. Another yellow flag. Who's it this time? Sebastian Vettel's out.
Okay,
oh boy. Is it another safety car? If it's another safety car, that helps out Hamilton and Verstappen quite well. If it was another one, I'd have to consider going into the pits and putting on hard tyres to the end of the race. Put away nicely from Magnussen. Those 2 up front are just leaving everyone else. I need to pass these guys quick. I'm in 6th place, thanks to some cars pitting. It did say that the difference between a 1 and 2 stop was about 3 seconds. Well, at this rate, I'm definitely going to have to catch up 3 seconds on the 2 cars in front of me. Oh, got to run wide, had to lift off. Come on. Okay, the front 2 haven't pitted. Neither. Oh, I was hoping one of these guys would pit. At least one. Damn.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
I'm going to lose even more time behind these guys. Can I outbrake Norris? Yellow flag. Oh. Yellow wing, really? Alright, final flashback. Final one. Ah, the last one worked so well, but how is it I make contact on the left hand side and yet the right hand side, sorry, but the left hand side gets damaged? How did that happen? That makes absolutely no sense, but fine. Final flashback, no more flashbacks now. Damn. I have to stick behind Norris. This is ruining my strategy. This is definitely ruining it. I'd like to thank everyone who's watching right now. Really do appreciate it. If you're enjoying the stream so far, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Really, really appreciate it. Try around the outside of Norris. Got him. Got Sainz next, and Leclerc ahead of them. Ahead of him. I should be within a second of Sainz. Don't want to be vulnerable to Norris behind me. Can I pass Leclerc? I've got DRS as well. No. Well, I'm gaining quite a bit, but don't want to push it. Can I try to dive up the inside? Nah. Verstappen's pulling away from Hamilton. Come on, Sainz, do me a favor and get out of the way. I think Verstappen just picked. Yes! Both of them got out of my way. Good. Okay, this is what I wanted. Verstappen's dived into the pits. Okay. Got Norris right behind me, so he hasn't pitted yet. Now there's Hamilton. Oh, ran very wide. Fastest first sector, but I probably lost the second sector there though. Pushing really hard to try and catch Hamilton so I can have the maximum gap between me and him before he stops, so I get the full pit stop gap between me and Hamilton. He's going to be able to chew into that once he gets his new tyres on. Personal best, second sector, okay. Wonder what Verstappen's on. If he's on soft tyres, then he's doing a 2-stop as well. Can't go flat out through there. His tyres just don't have the grip. Hamilton boxes. He was nice enough to give me DRS though. Very kind of him.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh, they want me to go an extra lap. Okay.
Copy that.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay, I'm pretty close to Hamilton, so where does Hamilton come out?
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
Came out pretty close to Verstappen, so these are looking good for me so far. It says I'll come out lap position 12. Can't afford any mistakes right now. Gonna keep my fuel enriched for a little bit longer. Hopefully Hamilton's in between a sandwich between the 2 Red Bulls, so I'm hoping they're gonna hold him up a bit. What tyres are they on? Mediums. Both of them are on mediums. He got ahead of Verstappen. Well done, Hamilton. But they're on mediums. I'm not too sure whether mediums can get to the end of the race, so I think they're going to be pitting as well. If they're on hard tyres, they're definitely able to go to the end of the race, but what lap are we on? Lap 13. That's 15 laps on those mediums. They could make it, to be honest, actually. Tyres will be pretty warm, but they'll make it. Hamilton's got past the second Red Bull, so things are looking good for Hamilton right now. '11th it says I come out now. Trying to push really hard on these tyres right now. Personal best first sector. Oh, ran a bit wide. 3.9 gap between me and my teammate who's on the softs. I think they're old softs. I shouldn't. Yeah, it is old softs because you picked when I did, didn't you? You had to double stack. So yeah, they're old softs. I think my teammate's catching me right now. They need to pit for the time being. .1. That's the sort of thing I needed. And Hamilton got passed by Red Bull, so him and the Red Bull are fighting each other, which is good. That's the sort of thing I need. Tenth place, it says I'll come up now. This is helping me out quite a bit here. Teammate dives into the pits for the final time.
Sergio is in the pits.
Oh, need to be careful of that. Fourth place, it says I come out. So it says I come out ahead of Hamilton and I'm assuming it's Verstappen he's fighting. That's currently what this says here.
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the softs.
1 minute 35.2, just a tenth and a half down on my best lap time. Things are looking good so far. A couple cars diving into the pits. Third place, it says I come out now. One of the cars behind me pitted, so it's still saying I come out ahead of my main rivals. What just happened to the steering? Barely steered at all there. Whoa, almost lost the back end completely. Fifth place all of a sudden. Just dropped me down 2. This is getting a bit tight for me now. Still neither of the two cars in between me and Hamilton have decided to pit. Gone back to third, good.
Is behind you. The gap behind us is 15.5 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.1.
1 minute 36.1, okay. What is going on with the steering? It's like it's not registering sometimes.
Pit window open. Let's box this lap.
Roger that.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Okay, the two of them pit now. Says I'll come out first. Interesting. Verstappen's got ahead of Hamilton. This is going to be very close though. 20.6 the gap between me and Verstappen.
Pit now. Pit now.
And teammates in 4th. So he's still within a chance of getting on the podium. My line through there was all wrong. Here we go. My last pit stop. Where do I end up compared to Verstappen and Hamilton? 2.2. Come on, come on, come on, to go around the final corner.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Yes. Got a nice gap to them as well. 5% on those tyres, that's nice. I think they're having a nice gap. I think it's mainly because them two have been fighting each other. The reason why I was able to open up such a gap to them. Now I'm going to save some fuel in ERS for the next lap. I'm going to try and put in the fastest lap of the race.
Battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Right now. Fastest set by 7/10. Fastest first sector, I should say. Look how close my teammate is to those two. Come on, Perez. .2 seconds.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race. Verstappen is behind you. The gap to the car behind is 5.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:35.5.
1 minute 35.5, 2.2 seconds. Quicker. Full race update.
You are in first position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind. Our gap behind is 5.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go, okay. I'm kind of surprised Verstappen is able to keep Hamilton behind him for so long. Because Hamilton must have had DRS a number of times and still he hasn't passed him yet. Just realised Bottas is out of the race. Which means we're going to be able to close the gap on Mercedes and constructors even further. Particularly with my potential victory, which is 7 points if Hamilton finishes second, and then obviously added on top of that my teammate's points. We could actually be leading the Drivers' Championship. The constructors, sorry, at the end of this race.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Okay, 5 laps to go. Not really pushing too hard right now, as my engineer said. Deciding to last, so I'm not pushing them too hard. Teammate.
Repeat that. There's interference.
Teammate. Oh, come on,
We're
man.
leading our teammate by 10.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 4th. The time last lap was a 1:35.8.
Championship standings.
Couldn't receive that. Repeat the message.
For all that is good and pure, how much money do these cars cost and they can't find a decent radio? Damn, man.
As things stand, we'll be leading the championship.
8.2. And my teammate is like 10 seconds behind me, so he's like, what, 2 seconds behind Hamilton and Verstappen?
Increase ERS deployment. It's time to use some of this charge.
Must admit, even though Verstappen and Hamilton are fighting quite a bit, it doesn't look like my teammate's making much progress on them. Because I would have thought by now he'd be right behind them. He'd be in the fight, but pretty much stayed the exact same in terms of gap between those 3 cars. Also, he's got a Renault keeping him company. Just can't afford to make any silly mistakes. Gasly. Something must have happened to Gasly because he's pretty much at the back of the field. Oh, ran so wide.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Make that 2. Two more laps left to go. Drivers' World Championship is so close. I must admit, going into that first corner is such a steep incline there, it's crazy. Oh, definitely sounds weird using this view. Hamilton's got past Verstappen. No, wait. Verstappen still fights him off. Let's have a quick look at that. Hamilton dives on the inside DRS. Hamilton should have it there, but Verstappen's not giving up. He's got the inside line going into the next corner. And Verstappen still keeps the position. I wonder if I can go for fastest lap. Ran a bit wide there. Didn't want to touch the curb. Fastest first sector.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
What lap are we on right now? Lap 27, okay, so it's next lap. It's the final lap. Personal best first sector, okay. Oh, ran a bit wide there.
This is your final lap. Final lap of the race.
Oh my dear, look how close my teammate is to the back of them now. He's so close. Not on to go now. Just half the lap left to go. Come on, Perez. Get third place from Hamilton. That'll be an amazing result, particularly for our constructors bid. Oh, so much. As I come through to win the United States Grand Prix, and
you've been superb all season.
Should be the Drivers' World Championship.
You are the Drivers' World Champion.
There we go.
Congratulations.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for Haas. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. This also means that there's no catching our leader anymore, and we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to every inch of his reputation
16th
today.
to 8th.
I think he'll be going home, quite rightly, a bit proud of himself.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Haas make
9
it to
points.
the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to...
Wow, very surprised by that. Really helped us there that Bottas
congratulations, you must
retired.
be thrilled.
Season victory.
You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you?
Sportsmanship.
Your rivalry with Devon has been very popular, but has it been a distraction from the championship?
No, my team always helps me stay focused on what's important.
You've had experience with Devon's fast, aggressive style. Any advice for the drivers he passed today?
You have to be determined as he is.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Pretty happy with that. Drivers' World Champion. Strategy worked out pretty well. Safety car helped me out as well. All in all, good performance. I'm very happy with that.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.
Drivers World Champion. Very happy with that. Now it's all about the constructors. We were able to take the lead in constructors for the first time this season. Can we maintain it? We've still got 2 races to go. Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Aside from that, that's the end of this live stream. I'd like to thank everyone who's watched. Really do appreciate it. If you want to keep up to date with my latest information, please follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Discord. Links are free as usual are in the description box down below. Aside from that, please don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all again in my next live stream. Laters.